a footballer's best friend, even if players like Jack Grealish do wear such small ones you can barely even see them. But what's the story with shin pads, and are there any rules on how big they should be? It all started with cricket, actually. Cricketers had been wearing shin pads since the 1700s. They'd been introduced not for leg protection, but instead to give batters a strategic advantage. The idea was that batters could put their leg pads in front of the wicket if they missed the ball, preventing them from being bowled out. Obviously, that all changed when the LBW rule came in, but that was the theory behind them. It was thanks to this guy that shin protection made its way over to football. Meet Samuel Widdowson. He was a cricketer and a footballer. He played for Nottingham Forest back in the late 1800s, and he wanted a way to protect his legs from nasty tackles. Apparently, he'd broken his leg in a match against Sheffield United in 1874 and wanted to stop it from happening again. Naturally, his mind drifted to his other favourite sport, where players had been wearing these pads. Story goes, Widdowson cut up his cricket pads, sewed them into his socks and popped them on before taking to the footy pitch. Ta-da! Shin pads. Like all great genius inventors, everyone took the mickey at first. To be fair, he probably looked quite stupid running around with these on. But it's thought his whole Nottingham Forest team then began wearing them from 1887, and the first known use of them in a match was in 1894, in a match between Newcastle and the then Woolwich Arsenal. Eventually, FIFA clocked on that this protection was pretty important for footballers. Multiple studies have shown wearing shin pads clearly reduces the risk of players getting lower leg injuries. And so in 1990, basically 100 years after Widdowson first put them on, shin pads were made compulsory. It became a part of Law 4 of IFAB. That's the body responsible for setting the laws of the game internationally. But the law doesn't actually specify anything about measurements of shin pads. It just says pads must be made of a suitable material and be of an appropriate size to provide reasonable protection. It's really vague, and players can get away with a lot. A lot of grassroots clubs are choosing to ban micro shin pads for obvious reasons though, especially after a 15-year-old player from Penistone Church broke his leg while wearing them. Still no change from IFAB though. That's why Grealish and co can still get away with these ones, which are no bigger than a credit card and which seem to offer little to no protection whatsoever.
Get on with it, it's Jason Cundy!
Has anyone seen Tottenham's daring to do? Honestly, what do you not do? You keep getting beat. Can you hear me, Vicario, Jamie O'Hara, the big cockerel, shit king, shit. Do you know what? I've had enough. You lot, you have ruined it. It's no fun anymore. It used to be fun. I used to have fun doing this. You get beat every week, Jay. It's 3 defeats in a week. You probably get beat tomorrow night. The Spurs have killed the fun. If there's anyone seen. It's not a novelty anymore, mate. Last season you did your best. You're doing it again.
It's who we are, mate.
I've had enough.
Huge weekend of Premier League action to get through. Spurs, they lost again. Arsenal, they failed to beat 10 men Chelsea. The wheels are falling off. It's about time Chelsea considered a real problem for the Premier League. Are they title contenders? Alexander Isak finally off the mark in the Premier League for Liverpool. Mo Salah was dropped. Does that need to stay that way? Do we have to keep him out of the side? Elsewhere, we're heading over to New York City, catch up with Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent. How have they blagged that one? Former Premier League referee Dermot Gallagher is going to join us to go over the weekend's action. Loads to get through. You want to have your say, though, on your team's performance over the weekend. Get involved in the show. Thomas Frank is a big talking point. 03 717 22 33 44.
Tete, he's there, he's going to strike it, takes a deflection and goes in past the stranded Vicario.
We'll get there,
Where are you going to get?
It's a process. We're playing some good stuff.
Vicario's coming to the right fullback position and he's out of his goal and he's giving the ball away to Josh King and he's in a right pickle and they've bent it in with Wilson! It's 2-0. Vicario with an absolute howler.
Right, stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
There's the full-time whistle.
Mate, you've killed it, haven't you? Spurs have killed it. There's no fun in that anymore. It's every week. It's 3 times a week.
We're probably going to play it tomorrow.
You've got tomorrow night, mate. Honestly, don't do it again.
We are, mate.
Mate, we're definitely getting beat by Newcastle. Away from home. They ain't getting a
I
result.
don't see. That's the point, right? I don't have to do it twice in 2 days. That's where it's got to.
I don't know, mate. I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know.
Well, you were back.
We were back.
Where are you back? Back to being garbage. Every week.
It's just who we are, mate.
It's just not happening for us, mate. It's not happening. What can I say? It's not happening. We're garbage. And I've got to come in here and sit and listen to you mock.
No, but Jay,
2 hours.
Jay, the fun of mocking has now been diluted so much because you are so bad that I don't get the same pleasure out of it anymore.
Hold on a minute.
There's no joy.
Hold on, all right? We are 5 points off the top 4.
Jay, you keep getting whooped.
We are 5 points off the top 4.
Whooping.
Let's calm down.
You keep getting whooped.
All right, we've had a bad month.
You've had a bad last 7 days.
Yeah, last
You
7
could get 8 days, 9 days.
It's not been great, okay? But we did play Arsenal and PSG. All right, Fulham, write-off. Terrible, shocking. 2-0 down after 6 minutes. When we done the show, the game day phoning, game kicked off at half-5. By the time I got back to when I got off the train, we were 2-0 down. I'm like, what is going on?
I barely got in Redwood, you were 2-0 down. Mate, you lot are doing it again. You're 12th. Where was it?
Yeah, we're 12th, Jason.
Mate, I tell you what, you trying to be as bad as you were last season because you're doing a damn good job.
We're getting there.
Where are you getting? Where are you getting to?
I don't know. I don't know where we're going right now. I don't actually know where we're going. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what the plan is. I don't know how we're playing. I don't know what the structure is. I don't know what tactics we're doing. I don't know what our identity is. I don't know anything about what Tottenham
Do you know what? It's not inconceivable that you could be 15th come the end of the midweek games.
We've got Newcastle tomorrow as well.
They go above you if they win.
Well, and Newcastle's still below us.
Still below you, mate.
All right, so let's calm down a little bit, all right? Newcastle, no one's talking about Eddie Howe getting a tin tack.
No one's talking about Thomas the Frank engine getting the tic tac.
Well, there is a lot of talk about him.
No one's talking about the tic tac, not yet.
Well, I think there is.
I think Eddie's got a little bit of credit in the bank, mate.
I don't know if he has, Thomas Frank. I don't know if Thomas Frank's got much credit left.
Do you think he's running out of credit?
I think he's maxed out the credit card, mate.
Has he?
I think the bank are on the phone.
Oh my God! They're going to go in and start taking goods.
I think they want payment. Oh, they want payment. They want payment. They're on the phone.
Mate, it could be.
Amex are phoned up.
Fulham could go above you. Everton could go above you. Newcastle could go above you. West
We're
Ham.
dropping like a stone, mate. We're dropping like a stone. Honestly, I wish I could drop a stone.
It used to be fun. It used to be.
Look,
it's no
what
fun.
do I say, mate? The situation at the moment is not good. It's not pretty. All right,
It's terrible, mate. Your home form. You stink.
Home form is
at home, you stink the joint out.
Wait, I know. I don't know what's happened at home. I don't know what's happened. I don't know why we're playing so bad. But let's be honest, our away form's all right. I mean, we've had a few
tomorrow night, won't we?
We had a few decent results, but we're not we're not electric. We've made it happen against some bang average sides. But I wouldn't say we've been, brilliant.
You keep having your pants pulled down.
We started all right at the start of the season. We looked like we had a bit of energy. There was a bit of bite to us, a bit of edge in midfield. We're playing on the front foot, making things happen. We looked exciting. I don't know, mate. Now all of a sudden,
do you know what happens, right?
We look like we've run out of ideas. We look like we've forgotten how to play football.
It's like someone coming into someone's house, Jay. It's what people do now at Spurs ground. They walk in, raid the fridge, start giving you, as you walk past, just slap you on the back of the head, give you a slap there, go through, have a couple of beers, go up, sleep in your bed, come back down, another slap round the back of the head. That's the liberties that people are taking when they go to Spurs ground this season. Taking liberties. Eating all your food.
Haven't slept with the missus yet, though.
Well, I don't know what goes upstairs. But you're having your pants pulled down, mate, and getting a good old whooping.
It's not looking good.
It's not looking good.
It's not looking good. We need to figure it out. We need to figure it out quick. But here's Thomas Frank. I don't know. Look, the situation at weekend, I don't know how you feel about it, but The players coming out about the fans, saying they're not true fans. Thomas Frank coming out saying that the fans shouldn't be booing the players. What are they doing? What are they going on about? Honestly, I can't have that. I can't have Thomas Frank coming out and saying that the fans shouldn't be booing. And I can't have Pedro Porro saying that, talking about true Spurs fans. Pedro Porro has been part of the dross.
You were bigging him up a couple of weeks ago.
No, I like him as a player, but he's been part of this dross for 18 months. He has been part of it. This ain't overnight. This has not happened, this season. Last season, we finished 17th. Spurs fans were turning up, paying hard-earned money, travelling to these games, going to watch that garbage every single week. And we thought a new manager come in, and we thought it might change. The home form is terrible.
Jay, you're just Spurs. This is what you do. This is what Spurs do every year. Nothing changes.
But Thomas Frank coming out and blaming fans, right? He needs to pipe down. And he needs to be very careful with his words right now with the fans, because he's putting this garbage together. He's a man at the top of it. And I wouldn't say it's all his fault. The players need to grow a pair of you-know-what, get out on the football pitch and make the fans cheer them. Because Spurs fans are sick to death of turning up, having to watch garbage week in, week out, and then expect the players to be like, come on, lads, let's keep going. Let's keep, cheering us on. You're rubbish.
Jay.
You can't expect fans to turn up and cheer when you're 2-0 down after 6 minutes against Fulham. Like, it's not going to happen. So, grow a pair, have some affiliation, fight your way out of it, go and get stuck into someone, go and demand the ball, run around, make it look like you want to be playing for Spurs Football Club, and give the fans something that they can cheer about. All these fans want to be is Spurs players. All they want to do is walk on that pitch and play for Tottenham. And when they see players out there on a football pitch who look like they don't want to play for Tottenham and look like they can't be bothered and look like they don't know what they're doing, when they're getting paid 150 grand a week and these poor blokes are turning up week in, week out, going to pay their money to watch that garbage, how can you expect them not to boo? How? Grow a set, get out there, get on the ball and make something happen. And if you don't, then bugger off. Because you ain't good enough to play for Tottenham. I remember playing for Tottenham when we was in dire straits. Dire straits we was. We just won the Carabao Cup, and then it all went downhill. Juan de Ramos could not pick up a point. But did I think for 1 minute I didn't want to go out on that football pitch and try and make a difference? Give me the ball and try and make
Jay, do you know what they should all do? They should read the crest. It should be able to dare is to do. That'll get them playing. To dare is to do.
Thomas Frank needs to pipe down, get the tactics right, pick a formation, pick a team, and get them playing with a bit of freedom. Get them expressing themselves, get them confident playing at home, get the crowd off their seat. Win, lose or draw, you've got to put in better performances than what you're doing, because they look like they're scared to go and play. Scared to play football at one of the best stadiums in the world. Scared. I'd give my right leg to go and walk out of Tottenham again and run around, even if I was garbage. I would give everything to go and play on that pitch again. And these players are walking around, strolling about, look like they don't know.
Just Spurs, though, Jay.
They look like they're scared to go and play for Tottenham.
It's
scared.
Spurs.
You're playing against Fulham.
It's just who we are, mate.
Playing Fulham.
It's just who we are.
At home.
Get whooped.
Whooping.
Honestly, I remember playing against Fulham and Danny Murphy was in midfield. We pumped them 5-1. It was embarrassing. I didn't even play well. I was terrible that day. They were booing me. I remember them booing me. We won 5-1. Played 90 minutes, ended up at left back because one day Ramos was like, got to get him out of midfield. He keeps giving the ball away. Didn't take me off, though. I still wanted to play.
Jay, do you know how many home games you've won
Fulham.
this calendar year at home? There's a stat knocking about, and I don't want to say the number because I'll have to find out if it's real or not. I'm looking at my producer. This calendar year, how many Spurs games in the league they've won at home?
I don't, mate. I don't care. I don't care.
You do care?
I don't care.
See, that's what I mean. That's what it's done to you, right?
It is. You know what? It's breaking my heart. I sit and watch Spurs now, and I'm like...
Hey, it's every game.
What am I watching?
It's every game.
Like, seriously, though. But I'm sat there, I'm like, what am I watching? And I try not to be nostalgic about the team that I played in, the players that I played in, because the game's changed and we've moved on. But I'm looking around the team and I'm thinking, not one of these players, not one of them, maybe Van der Ven, right?
What about his
Maybe.
mate next to him, the best partnership in world football?
Well, yeah, that's gone.
that didn't last long.
That was a bad statement.
That
wasn't
didn't
it?
last long.
And I look at it and go, not one of these players gets in the team that I played in. Not one. How can that be right? How can that be right? That we ain't got one player, not even my team, the team after me, Pochettino's team, Harry Redknapp's team, no, all the teams, Martin Yole's team. And I look at it and go, not one of these players can get in that team. So I can blame Thomas Frank and blame his tactics, but the players have got to look at themselves as well and go, we've got to be producing more than this. We've got to produce better than this.
See, you've taken the fun away from it, mate. That's exactly what I mean. That's how I feel now.
Is Aston Villa's team better than Spurs? Like, overall, if you look at the squad of players, would you look at Aston Villa's squad and say it's way better than Tottenham's?
I'd have to go through it, but my instincts are to say yes. I'd have to go through it. My instincts are to say yes,
but
they
not
are.
every player on the pitch, right? Look at Aston Villa. Look at that football club.
They had
With the
a
manager,
sticky start, mate. They got themselves back up and running.
Sticky start, but, you know, everyone in yet, they know the formation, they know the tactics, they go at it together. I watch this Spurs side and I'm like, what am I watching? None of them look like they can play football. They don't look like they care. They don't look like they want to get on the ball and make things happen. No one's got any heart, any balls to go out there and say, I'm going to be the man who's going to stand up and take this club forward. Maybe Bergvall, I'll give him his props. Bergvall runs about. The rest of them, I'm looking and going, like Van der Ven, all right? But Van der Ven's a centre-half. You know, you're looking at players to score goals and make something happen. But Xavi Simons out there flicking things
it's
around.
Just bad, mate. Look at you.
I don't want to. You know what? I feel like I'm talking myself out into trouble here, and I'm going to have people on the blower having a go at me. But
well, there's people on the blower now who have a go at you.
No, but I'm talking. Yeah, but fans are different. But it's just, I don't know. It's like I'm so passionate about Spurs, but they are taking the love out of it for me. And I was so blessed and honoured and lucky to play for Tottenham and go out there. And I weren't the best player ever to play for Spurs. I was all right. But I tell you what, I run about. I tell you what, I put my heart on my sleeve. And I tell you what, I didn't hide when it was going wrong. I'd stand up and be counted. And at least there was a relatability to the team I was in, a relatability to the fans and me, that we were there together and we'd try and figure it out and fight together to find a way to get results. We were Who's relatable at Spurs right now? Where's the young up-and-coming star that we've got who's come through the academy?
Vicario?
Where's the star that we can hang our hat on and go, that's the guy that we're all going to put our shirt on, and pay our money to go and watch him play?
Mate, what's happened?
I don't know.
I don't know if I've ever seen you like
The only decent player we've got, we brought from West Ham.
I don't know what to say, mate.
I've rattled on already. Look, I'm sorry.
You've seen the clock?
I had to get it off my chest because I've been thinking about it for 2 days.
Oh,
Can I go home now?
Mate, you listen, you've set the show up. You set it up. You've been yabbering. You've been going on now for nearly 20 minutes.
Players,
20-minute
manager,
rant.
recruitment, everything about that football club needs to have a look at themselves. They've got to sort it out quickly. 03717 22 3344. no sympathy in this sports bar, do you? It's horrible. You're listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara, and Jason Cundy. We'll look back at Chelsea's draw with Arsenal yesterday as well. Spurs, though, lost at home again this weekend. 2-1 to Fulham, meaning they've won only one home league game this season. Let's hear from manager Thomas Frank now. He said, had this to say about Spurs fans booing the poor displays we're watching on the pitch.
I didn't like how the fans reacted on that. I think they booed at him straight after, and also 3 or 4 times when he was on the ball. I think for me that's unacceptable. It can't be true Tottenham fans. Booing after, fair, no problem. But when we in it together. And if we need to turn it around, we need to do it together. So that's hugely important for me.
Oh. You don't want to start having pop at the fans. That can be a bit of a slippery slope, that one.
You're playing a very dangerous game. Spurs fans who pay a lot of money to come and watch their team play. And, all right, he hasn't been there. He's only been there this season, Thomas Frank. But Spurs fans had to go and watch that display of football all last season as well. All right, we won the Europa League, and fair play. We found a way to get through that tournament. But the Premier League has been disgusting over the last 18 months. Disgusting.
Is it 3 wins at home in 2025 in the league? I think it's 3 league wins at home in 2020. We're in December.
It's not good. Let's go to Matt. He's a Spurs fan. Matt?
Matty? Matt?
Is he there? No.
Hello. Sorry, guys. I had you on mute.
Hello, Matt.
Yeah, great show, guys. I'm glad the violin was on you, Jamie, tonight, because I'm used to that on your show. To be honest, Jamie, Cundy, please leave us alone, because I'm going to stick it on him, because...
No, but
Jamie,
Matt, here's the thing, right? I don't enjoy it anymore. I'm not having fun.
Listen, I'm 100% with you on that one. As a Chelsea fan, you're fine. Okay, you can, and the Arsenal fans can give it. But Jamie O'Hara starts off with, we done well at the start of the season, and we're looking good, and we're winning games, and then in his next sentence, which player will get into any other team? And then Aston Villa, he's got a cheek to talk about Aston Villa. This is a team that was in the Championship 4 years ago, and since then he's talking about their goalkeeper Emi Martinez. We've got 4 goalkeepers at the club, and they don't even make the right leg of that guy. And then you're talking about the defenders and the midfielders and the attackers. We haven't got one decent player. Now, in your next sentence, you was turning around and talking about how Thomas Frank should be sacked.
I didn't say that. I never said he should get sacked.
No, you didn't say that. I'm just saying Thomas Frank should be sacked. Now, with your next
you think he should be sacked?
Well, I spoke to Majestic and Alan Pardew, and Alan Pardew goes, well, you're in 6th place, and Thomas Frank is going to come good. And then they cut me off at that point, and I thought, honestly, Alan Pardew, I've got so much time for you, mate, but honestly, you think that this guy's going to do well at Spurs? Tottenham are now 12th, and they're nosediving. Now, you turn round with your next sentence and said, we're only 6 points off 4th. Jamie, mate, come on, mate. Honestly, seriously.
I know, but you can't. I mean, you want to bury the club, but you can't just keep burying it, can you?
Mate, the club has been buried for God knows how many years. And I don't look about last year we won the Europa League, and it wasn't too bad. We win in a few games. But listen, the bottom line is we've been nosediving for years, and this was eventually going to come. Now, what Vivian did to Daniel was the best thing do you know what? It's the best thing since my kids were born. What they did to him. But the bottom line is what's going to happen next. And this is what you need to be talking about, mate, on your show. Not talking about how Richarlison misses from 12 yards. Not talking about that Vicario who's got butterfingers because he's useless. Honestly, that guy with his distribution, and he's got the cheek to have a go at a player when Adogi couldn't keep hold of the ball. It's honestly, what are these individuals thinking?
Okay, so what's the answer then, Matt? Because we can sit here and moan, but what's the answer?
Listen, forget talking about taking the mickey about. Listen, you can't even take the mickey out of West Ham fans. Forget about every football club right now. Concentrate on what we should be doing. Now, the thing is, you need to convince 6 60,000 of them that turn up week in, week out and walk away from that stadium with their heads down. Oh, God, there we go again. Every single home game. We can't even win home games. And that's what it's about. So the bottom line is you need to start piping up and talking about these individuals that shouldn't be at the football club. And I don't care about Archie Gray and Lucas Bergveld because they're not good enough. Every single one of them should be out of that door, bar maybe Van der Ven with the potential. But he ain't going to get into that potential being at Spurs. Maybe at City, but he won't be at Spurs. So we need to do the right thing and start protesting to get these owners out now. They're the next lot.
Do you want the owners out?
These are the problem. These lot are the problem. We've got players there that are mercenaries, week in, week out, collecting the money, and we're losing to Fulham, who hasn't even had an away win. And they're coming to us saying, can we play you every week? Is that what you want, Jamie?
What do you? I mean, I don't know why you're having a go at me. I'm agreeing with you.
You know what? When Spurs win, you jump in for joy, mate. The reality is, every point Tottenham gain, it's breathing space like that. It was breathing space for that parasite when they won the Europa League. But you know what? The bottom line is, we need to hit the low periods, and I mean lower than this, to be able.
We finished 17th last season.
Listen,
can't get any lower than that.
That fan base is the only thing that's going to get these owners out. The only thing. Unless they wake up tomorrow morning and go, let's sell up. But you know, when you're milking the money from the Premier League and all that money coming in, you never sell up. Jason wouldn't sell up if he was the owner. Nobody would sell up because it's just money machine. It makes money like anything. But you know what? The fans, if they protest, we can get him out. Now, that Thomas Frank having a pop at the fans, what did he think? People pay £200-300 to come to watch that and watch that individual walk away in his flashy Mercedes, earning 75, 80 grand a week. And we're not supposed to boo to that. Remember, Jamie, it ain't one game that he's done it. He's done it every other game. And if it ain't him, it's Pedro Porro. And if it ain't him, it's Sarr. If it ain't him, it's Richarlison. It's week in, week out. Somebody always makes mistakes. And until it changes, this is what you're going to get. And you can't go around. You need to start protesting about these owners. Talk about these owners and get the fans on.
Daniel Levy's gone.
Forget that. He's gone now.
Okay,
him.
so, I mean, you protested. He left. He's gone. You can't have a go at the owner right now. We haven't had a transfer window with the new ownership yet.
So,
or the new people in charge.
I tell you what, Jamie, I'm going to do a little thing with you. I promise you, and I'm live on air, I promise you, if these owners go out and start buying 80 million, and I'm not talking a Richarlison 60 million or a Dominic Solanke 60 million, I'm talking proper footballers.
Yeah.
In January, start buying all these proper footballers for £80 million, giving 250 grand a week. I promise you, live on air, I will run up and down Tottenham High Road, starkers, if this happens. Because I tell you what, it ain't going to happen.
Anyone to see that,
It will
mate.
never happen.
Matt.
Yes.
How was your weekend?
Super, absolutely.
No, seriously, mate. I'm a bit.
Roast from my missus.
Say again.
I cooked a lovely roast for my missus. And I had the most fantastic weekend.
Right. What did you cook her?
I done a roast for her.
No, which one though?
We done roast chicken, mate.
Weren't you at Spurs Stadium?
Roast chicken.
You must have been at the stadium at the weekend.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
You're always there. You've got a van there, haven't you?
Yeah.
Is your missus still support Chelsea? Yeah.
No, she doesn't. That's another thing. She goes to me, I'm going in the other room because I can't take what Jason's going to say to me. No, she's not a Chelsea fan. I
don't know, mate. It's what she said live on air last time she come on.
1,000,000% she ain't a Chelsea fan.
She said Chelsea, Matt.
That was her mum and her dad. That was it. Right? Nothing to do with her.
Well, it gets passed down. I think she's a bit scared to tell you the truth, Matt.
No, never in a million years, mate.
Matt.
She'll always be the blue of Spurs, always. And you know what? I feel. You know what?
Let her go, Matt. Let her go to the West London side, mate. Come on.
No, don't be silly. Don't be silly.
Listen, Matt. I'm gonna let you go, mate. Thanks for coming on. Spurs fans, you can have your say. I don't know where we go from here. Is it the manager? Is it the players? Is it the board? You know, I've seen some back pages. The players are maybe turning on Frank with his tactical decisions. Oh, I thought Frank was a good manager. I thought when he come in, he was a really good manager. And Matt can sit there and say what he wants, but at the start of the season, we did look all right.
You're back.
I wouldn't say we were back.
I think you did, mate.
Yeah, but, you know, that's just in jest.
I think you did.
Right, having a bit of fun. But we looked all right. We looked better than what I was. But, you know, I was excited about Xavi Simons. I thought he was going to come in. He was going to make a difference.
Still might, Jay.
It just looks, all of a sudden, it just looks like it's gone so toxic, so quick.
Mm-hmm.
And Thomas Frank, I mean, he's pouring petrol on the fire right now. I don't know if he's doing a good job about what he's, you know, digging out the fans.
Mate, do you know who's got? Do you know you've got your next home game, right? You know who next home game is?
Go on.
Brentford. As if Keith Andrews rocks up, pulls down his former manager's pants.
So we got Newcastle then Brentford.
Brentford home.
Yeah, Newcastle then Brentford.
Yeah.
Oh my word, that's
yeah. As in Keith Andrews rocks up there, mate.
If he
gives
does.
slaps, whooping and slaps.
I don't know where to go, mate. I don't know what to do. Can we move on? Can we talk about Arsenal and Chelsea? Got loads of Spurs fans who want to have their say. You can come on. Let's talk about it. Let's sort it out. 03 717 22 33 44. You're listening to the Sports One talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara, Jason Cundy. Reminder, talkSPORT now on your smart TV. Just grab the app on Android TV, Google TV, or even on Prime Video. talkSPORT, live on your screen as well as your speakers. Still to come, we're going to head over to New York. Chat with Darren Bent, Andy Goldstein, ahead of the World Cup draw this Friday, which is in Washington, not New York, but I don't know why they're there. But first, let's get to more of your calls after a shocker this weekend. 03 717 223344. Let's go to Mark. He's a Spurs fan. All right, Mark.
Mark.
Yeah, hi there,
All right,
guys.
matey.
All right, Mark.
Now, first, this is all directed at Jamie. Cundy, don't you say anything, because you've got plenty of scope to take the P out of us. And 11v11 yesterday, you should have beaten Arsenal, and you would have beaten Arsenal. For once, I wanted Chelsea to win. But anyway, be that as it may. 11v11, you would
So
have...
I'm not allowed to speak, is that right?
Yeah, well, no, I'm just making a statement. Right, now over to Jamie. Now, Jamie, how are we going to resolve this? You're passionate Spurs follower, supporter, whatever. Bring in the kids, bring in the youngsters, a minimum of 3 games, chuck the whole bloody lot out, all the so-called stars, inverted commas, because they're not stars. They're running scared, they don't know what to do. We go sideways, backwards, sideways, backwards. Who takes players on in that team? No one. Bring in the youngsters, a bit of passion. They'll play for the shirt. The fans will get behind them, even if we lose.
I know, but I don't know.
You can't lose.
Mark, you can't afford to lose. Do you know what I mean? You can't keep falling down the table.
It's a principle. You have to show these stars they are not wanted to play for Tottenham the way they are, inverted commas, playing, because they're not playing at the moment. You bring in the youngsters.
I know, but you say bring in the youngsters. I mean, who's the youngster who's going to come in? I know we've got some young lads who, exciting, but
21s.
Yeah, no, I know Spurs have got some decent players coming through, but where's our Saka? Where's our Reece James? The last person that come through, we were like, it was Harry Kane. Do you know what I mean? And look what he had to leave to go and win some trophies in the end. So I agree with you. I want to see some young lads in there who I can.
That ain't happening. Let me tell you now.
Enjoy, but I just don't think Thomas Frank's going to do that.
No one's doing that when you're struggling. That's you don't. You bring youngsters in when you're performing well. It's hard to bring youngsters in. It's just a bit of a.
But Jamie, you know the setup at Tottenham. There is something basically fundamentally wrong with that club, the way it's run. Whether the players got it too cushy, one of the best grounds in the world, one of the best, if not best, training facilities in the world. They got it too cushy. They turn up.
Yeah, but that ain't the Tottenham that I was at. But with the mentality that when I was there,
too easy, maybe.
When I was there, Tottenham were trying to become, we're trying to get amongst it. We was in finals. You're competing. You're getting up there, it was always around semi-final moments, and Spurs have been there. We can't get away from the fact they won the Europa League last season. But
that needs to be looked at, by the way.
Yeah,
I still have to, that needs to be investigated.
I don't know how we won that, to be honest, how bad we were. But it feels like at the moment these players are scared to play for Tottenham, especially at home. They're scared. Now, I can't put that down to, the fact that they've got a nice, cushy, training ground and, a nice stadium. That's about having some balls as players. That's about having balls as a person to be like, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to show them. You can boo me. All right, boo me. All right, I'm going to roll my sleeves up and I'm going to get out there and I'm going to turn it around. I feel like they're all hiding behind each other, standing in the middle of the centre circle and, don't want to go over and clap the fans because they want to walk off as together. Do me a favour. I mean, come on, pull your finger out and give us something to shout about. Have a bit of freedom. It looks like me, Mark, when I'm watching Spurs play. Because these players, look, do I think they're good enough? Do I think they're good enough, Mark? No, I don't. I don't think some of them are anywhere near good enough to play for Tottenham. But they're there. And you can talk about getting rid of them. You can't get rid of all of them. They're there. They're on contract. You've got to play some of them. So you've got to find a way to get the best out of them. Well, give him some confidence. Give him some freedom. Give him some... Go out there, lads, and enjoy it. Harry Redknapp, right, for whatever you might say about him in terms of tactical nous, whatever. I remember when Harry Redknapp come in at Tottenham, he come in passionate, and he put his arms around everyone and he said, lads, go and play. Look at you. Go and enjoy yourselves. Go and make things happen. You're all good players. Go and make something happen.
It's not a complicated game. It's a simple game. You play with passion and you play with heart. You play for the shirt, and it's common sense. That's what Redknapp did. That's what Venables did for years and years. None of this drawing board and discussing it and different tactics for this team.
They're so weak.
You're only putting me beating.
This feels so weak mentally. It feels so weak right now from them, from the manager, from the players. It just feels so weak mentally, physically, everything about them. It just feels so weak.
Spurs are ruining the show.
Sorry, mate.
They're ruining the show.
Surely you got to expect this, though, after what we watched.
They're just ruining the show now, mate. That's what you're doing. You're now ruining sports bar. That's the reach, how bad your performances are. You just had fun when Spurs got beat.
I know, mate.
All I'm doing is sitting up this...
What do you... All right. Take your Chelsea hat. Just take off. Right, you're not a Spurs fan, right? You watch Spurs, and you can sit here and take the mick, right? What do you think is going wrong at Spurs?
Well, to dare is to do.
Oh.
They're not daring, and they're not doing. They're not doing or daring. If they start daring and do a bit more doing, they'll be all right.
What does that mean? What does that mean, Jace?
Do doing and do daring, and you'll be all right.
And he wonders why I don't want to talk to him. Like, he's just said to me, oh, there's no point me being here. I ask him a question, and that's what you give me.
It's on your badge. To dare is to do. You're not doing, you're not daring. Do a bit more doing, a lot of daring, you'll be all right.
Let's go to GJ. He's a Spurs fan. GJ.
All right, GJ.
Yeah, how you doing, boys? Yeah, I mean, look, to be fair, Cundy's got a point, because when we played Arsenal, we didn't dare at all, did we? We just played like Wimbledon 1980s, just smacked the ball up the pitch.
You didn't do any doing either. Did no daring or doing.
Exactly. It was, I was just going to say, that's the problem with Thomas Frank ball. The football's crap and the results crap. So it's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah.
Like how I used to call Ange imposter no clue. I think we should call Thomas, he should be called Frankenstein, because he's just serving up horror shows now. Every game, it's a shocker. Yeah. Jamie, you stole my point on. I was going to make the point about the lack of young players coming through. You were spot on there. You were absolutely spot on. There's no production, like you said. There's no Saka. There's no Max Dowman. There's a massive disconnect.
We have got some young lads coming through. We have got some young kids who are apparently superstars. All right, we have. Whether that comes through, I don't know. But I've not seen it. I've not seen really. Mikey Moore was meant to be that guy. He can't get a game on loan. So.
Well, this is it. But I mean, there's a massive disconnect between the players and the fans, right? As you said earlier. But I'm not a booer, right? I've never booed a Spurs player in my life. In fact, Jamie, the only way I'd boo is if I went back 30 years in a time machine to boo that clown next to you, because he should
do it now. Do it now. Don't need a time machine, GJ.
The culprit that time, Jason Cundy.
You don't need a time machine. Go on, give me a boo.
I'll tell you what, GJ, as much as he hates us, right, and that's fine because he is what he is, right? He played with passion and he played with heart, even when he played for Spurs. Yeah, he did.
Come on, JJ, give me a boo.
And even though he was rubbish,
give me a boo.
What? You hang your hat on him to go out there and give 100%.
Give me a boo,
and that's what
GJ.
it feels like at the moment. It feels like we're watching players out there, and I don't like saying it because I've been a player, and I don't like when people come out and say, "Oh, he's not playing. He don't care." They do care. I know they care.
No,
but
they've
got to give us more. They've got to give the fans something. They've got to give them something, whether it's passion, whether it's a bit of fight. Something where you're looking at them and say, "Right, I can get behind him." None of them are doing that.
But there's one point where everyone's missed. We've talked about the owners. I mean, Matt, he always talks about Matt the caller. He always talks about Levy, right? With a lot of justification. But like you said, Levy's gone. You've got to give the owners time. But we talked about the owners. We talked about the players. We talked about youth academy. We talked about the fans. We haven't talked about the bloody medical team. They are an absolute disgrace. Where's Solanke? Where's Kulusevski? Our players are always injured. I'm telling you now, I swear our medical team are a bunch of Arsenal, Chelsea, West Ham fans all colluding against them. They need to go.
They're not doing any doing.
I can't talk about the medical team because I'm not there, but it does feel outrageous how many injuries.
Everyone's getting it.
The injury list and our medical team.
You Spurs fans at the moment, you're going for a tough time.
I remember being at Spurs, mate. We never had this many injuries. I mean, we'd have a few injuries here and there. You'd have a couple on the treatment table. You'd go in Spurs Lodge and you'd have 4 beds and a couple of the lads getting a massage. You have a couple of injuries here and there, a couple of players in the gym. You got a whole team out. Every game. Every season. You've got 11 injuries. What is actually going on at that medical stuff?
I think
they changed it as well, by the way. I think they made some changes and got some new medical staff in. How can you have the best training facilities in the world But a whole team is out injured.
A serious question. What has happened to Slanky?
I don't know, mate. I don't know where he's gone. I don't know what's happened. Kulusevski, I don't know what's happened to him. Don't know. It's like when they get injured, they are out for like 3-4 months. It's crazy, mate. I don't know. All right, keep your calls coming in. We will talk about Arsenal and Chelsea.
Up the Chelsea.
Want to talk about that. It's an interesting game, really. Casado, definitely a red?
Yeah.
03717 22 33
It's just who we are, mate.
You listen to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara, Jason Cundy. Got Dermot Gallagher coming up later on in the show. We go over the weekend's decisions. We haven't spoke about the big game, though, at the weekend. 10-man Chelsea drew 1-1 with Arsenal. Let's hear from Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca, who's been speaking about the Blues' chances in the title race.
Once again, sometimes I think I'm a little bit bored, but bored in terms of boring, you know. I have to say again the same. If in February, March, we are where we are now, we're going to be for title. But we are still, you know, end of November, December. Now we are Leeds away Wednesday. It's a very difficult game, so you need to, you know, to be there every time. But for sure, you know, Arsenal tonight, Barcelona the other day, Liverpool, PSG.
Yeah. Yous are looking good, I have to say.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, we did. I thought we were excellent yesterday. Very proud of the performance, especially when it went down to 10 men. A number of individual performances, I thought we were just...
Mate, Reece James.
Reece James, that's the best game I've ever seen him playing the blue shirt.
Wow.
Yeah, he was off the scale, mate.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, that was a special performance. Yeah,
it was like Makaleli and Eden Hazard rolled into one.
Yeah, and he's so strong in there, mate. You can't knock him off the ball. I mean, technically, he's a brilliant footballer.
Yeah, he's always...
Some of his passing is exquisite.
He run the gaff.
Yeah, he was best player on the pitch. But, the problem we've got, right, is we got to iron out the silly little games like Brentford away where we conceded a late equaliser, Brighton at home, Palace at home first game of the season, Sunderland at home. They're the reasons why we can't win the title at the moment. Not against Arsenal, because we go toe-to-toe. Not against Liverpool.
Yeah.
Not against your mob. Big games, we're solid.
Yeah.
We'll do all right.
Yeah.
Man United's the only game where we got sent off, went down 10 men after about 4 minutes.
You got to sort of sending off, though, mate.
Mate, well, that's
what is going on.
Discipline with young players.
Oh, mate, come on.
That has been a problem.
Sending off, you must have had 6 or 7.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, easily.
Ridiculous.
And the manager.
The manager's been sent off as well. Like Casado, I'm looking at him like, mate, what are you doing?
He
was all over Arsenal.
He's a tough tackling midfielder, and he's going to get some things wrong, and he got it wrong. All right, he ain't meant to hurt him. His studs are low. He's caught him on the ankle. I ain't got a complaint with a red card, but he's combative midfielder, mate. And there are going to be moments he gives away silly challenges and is going to pick up bookings. And on that occasion, he just got it wrong at a crucial point in the match as well.
Yeah,
it felt like we're on top. Felt like we were very comfortable. Really, even at 10 men, I thought we were the better side than Arsenal. I thought we were outstanding.
Yeah.
Absolutely outstanding.
No, I thought you were. No, fair. But I thought Arsenal weren't really at it. They'd probably take a point.
Do you know what? I think both, when you wake up in the morning, I think both teams and sets of fans will probably go, do you know what? Disappointed. I thought, even at 1-1, I felt we looked like we could go on and nick the game.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing Arsenal fans probably felt the same as well. That good Gyökeres chance at the end.
Yeah.
I think a draw is probably a fair result over the 90 minutes. I think we shaded it. I thought we were excellent. But,
yeah, let's go to Ryan. He's a Chelsea fan. All right, Rise?
All right, Rhino.
Yes, lads, how are we?
I'm all right, Rise. I'm all right. Go on. Was you happy with the performance?
Yeah. Honestly, I'll take it, especially with Reece James. Oh,
man.
Amazing.
He was so good.
Personally, like everyone says, he's the best right back in the world. He's up there with one of the best players in the world. Honestly.
Well, he's got to stay fit for a few seasons.
Do you know what, though? We're seeing a Reece James now that I think now trusts his body, because there was a period where you wondered whether he was going to get through 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Now that fear is gone, and I think that performance yesterday, showed that there's a player that is at complete ease with his body. There's no concerns. He knows whatever challenge he can go in for, whatever tackle he's got to make, whatever he's got to do on a pitch, his body, there's no thinking, there's no process.
Mm-hmm.
It's natural. I think that performance is the real sign that his injuries, fingers crossed.
Can you win the title, Ryan? Can you win the title?
I don't think we will, but we can certainly try.
I'd like to think that in and around December, end of December, this is a big period, right, for every team, because there's so many points up for grabs. We got Leeds away, right? That is a banana skin for us. Leeds away on Wednesday night, mate. That is a banana skin. We don't seem to. Can't remember when we last played well there, but that is especially with the rivalry. Then we've got Brentford away. Bournemouth away. You look at those two games. You're going,
yeah.
Do you know, mate? They're not. They don't. 3 points there, 3 points there.
No, I know. No game's easy.
So look, we get through these two games and see where we are. But I think what I also saw yesterday was a side that in 18 months, that team there, that'll be that'll be even better than we saw yesterday. So there is a real encouraging sign. Felt like that was a performance where these young boys, and it is the youngest squad ever in Premier League history, those young boys there started to grow. That was felt like a bit of a changing moment for Chelsea, that performance, against the best side in the country, that are probably going to go and win the title. We went toe-to-toe, so I'd love to see what we look like in 18 months' time, something like that. What will we look like?
All right, Rise, thanks for your call. Keep them coming in. We're going to continue taking calls. Arsenal fans, got a few of you want to come on. I don't know how you felt about the performance at the weekend. Spurs fans, obviously we're going to talk about Thomas Frank, his situation in a minute. You can have your say. Loads to go at. 03 717 22 33 44.
Football fans all have stadiums we love, but do any of us have a pitch that we love? It might sound like an odd question, but pitches can be different sizes with big consequences. Why is that? And what are the actual rules? Back when association football started, pitches could be up to 100 metres wide and 200 metres long. That's longer than Ellen Road. Not the pitch, the stadium. Anyway, UEFA wanted a standard across Europe for international matches, which became 105 metres long and 68 metres wide. But some clubs had been rebels, not intentionally, but because of the stadiums. Take Highbury, for example. It was 5 metres shorter and a metre narrower, meaning away sides had a challenge to adjust. White Hart Lane was exactly the same. And actually, when Spurs temporarily moved to Wembley, they asked the FA to shorten the pitch. The FA, very offended by the sacrilegious suggestion, said no, which in fairness could have actually benefited Tottenham because when they moved into their shiny new stadium, the pitch was exactly the same size as Wembley's. Today, Forest Pitch at the City Ground is a big one. It's 2 metres wider than any other pitch in the Premier League. But the smallest of all, Craven Cottage, just 100 metres long and 65 wide. No excuse for not tracking your man. There are a couple of crazy outliers in Europe too. At Napoli's home ground, the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, the pitch is a whopping 110 metres long. At least they don't play on a slope like Newcastle do. There's a 2-metre incline on the pitch at St James's Park. And don't get me started on the old pitch at Yeovil too. It used to be a slant of 2 metres corner to corner and across the halfway line. So UEFA have their standards. So do the FA, but they do give pitches in England some wiggle room. Pitches can be anywhere between 90 and 120 metres long and between 45 and 90 metres wide. I mean, the rules state you can't have a square pitch, but in theory you could have one that's 91 metres long and 90 wide. Imagine rocking up to play a Sunday League game and the pitch is basically a square. So there are rules and regulations on sizes, with a UEFA standard that roughly everyone follows. But as we all know, size doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah, good evening. You are listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Got Dermot Gallagher coming up in just a bit. We're going to continue taking your calls as well. 03717 223344. But talkSPORT Drive has somehow blagged the week over in the USA. Andy Goldstein, Darren Bent bringing you live shows from across the pond all week ahead of this Friday's World Cup draw in Washington. They're in New York for no reason at all. Just spending the company credit card while I'm stuck in London with Jason Cundy. Let's bring him in. Goldstein, Benty, how are we?
All right, boys.
How are we, gentlemen? We're good. We're very well. How are you doing? You all right? We're just chilling out in one of our bars. I just thought to say cheers to both of you.
Where's my margarita at?
Can we get the drinks over? What's going on, boys? What's happening?
So I've heard that you were meant to be outside a pub called Gabby O'Hara's, but because you were out trainer shopping, you sacked us off, and now you just sat in a hotel bar.
No, we went sneaker shopping earlier on. But the problem we've got, Jamie, if I'm being brutally honest with you, is we get per diems. You know, usually like normal people get per diems for food. We get them for shopping and clothes and all that. And they've given us £1,000 a day to spend on just sneakers. And it's just really difficult because it's like, do I buy one pair for £1,000 or buy tomorrow's pair and today's for £2,000? So that was our dilemma today. But we were all right.
Yeah, but I can understand Benty buying trainers, right? Goldstein, I can understand Benty buying trainers, right? Because he's got a bit about him, he's got a bit of style, he's in the know. You're 50 years old, son. No one cares what trainers you're wearing.
Oh, it's your agent. Oh,
do you know what? I can't really hear what you're saying, but in answer to your I think I can just about hear what you're saying. But no, they don't sell fat suits over here, so we can't look like you at all. Is that what you're saying? I can't hear anything.
No one cares about your Nike trainers, Goldstein.
Benny, but I can't hear what you're saying. They're not working.
So, listen, boys.
No, he is. You'll have to.
Boys, see, listen, you're out in New York at the moment.
I can't hear anything.
You're out in New York at the moment, but then you're going to Washington, right, for the draw.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we go on Wednesday. We're getting the train down to Washington, so should be fun. I think Thursday we touchdown. We'll go to an NBA game. That'll be beautiful as well.
Yeah.
And then the big stuff happens on Friday.
Goldstein can't hear us. Goldstein cannot hear us right now. Look.
He can't hear. He's trying to.
This is a shambles.
But wait, just a quick one though. Quick one though for me, Jace. Jace, I felt your pain, mate, when you was doing your "Has anyone seen?" and then you just gave up on Spurs.
No,
I
mate.
felt your pain, mate.
They killed it for me.
I felt for you.
Yeah, it used to be fun. I used to get off on it. You know, I'd write the script, and who can I get stuck into? Poor old Chick King, mate. Don't even have any fun with Chick King anymore. To dare is to do. That's lost its rhythm. That doesn't even feel right. They're killing it, mate. They killed it. Completely broke its back, they have.
I'll tell you. Yeah, shut up for a minute, Jay. I'll tell you what we are doing tomorrow.
There we go.
I'm not joking. James Corden. I say we. It's me that knows all the celebs. James Corden's very kindly contacted me.
He's an idiot, isn't he? He's an absolute idiot, isn't he?
And he's asked me and Bentley, manager at Max, producer Joe, and of course Liam, you know, head of the board, if we want to go and see his play tomorrow on Broadway. So we're all going to see that tomorrow. Courtesy of James. We'll meet up with James after. We're hanging out with Robbie on Thursday. He's over here for FIFA. So our problem is we've got to fit David Beckham in. I don't know what day we're meeting up with Becks, but you wouldn't like it out here, lads. You wouldn't like it because A, it's hard work, and B, the amount of love we're getting over here. Not talkSPORT. People don't really know what talkSPORT is, but they listen to Drive. They watch Drive. So we're walking down the street and we're getting flocks of usually women actually just following us and driving us mad.
This guy.
Another one. It's so tough, honestly.
Bentley, how do you put up with him?
I'm not gonna lie to you, it's hard work at times, but we're oh look, come over. Cheers, boss. Look, what a legs, man. It's really kind of you.
Oh, they're getting cocktails and everything.
That's beautiful.
Hold on.
Bentley, I've got to ask you, right?
That's not why I will keep it anyway.
While Goldstein's just chatting garbage, Bentley, I've got to ask you, Thomas Frank, he's coming under loads of pressure right now. You've played for Tottenham. You've played in tough moments. You've also played in great ones. Do you think he was right to dig out the fans?
Do you know what? It's one of them, Jay, where because of how much football fans pay nowadays, it wasn't the right thing to do. And listen, football fans can voice their opinion. But the part of Thomas Frank I did like, he was backing his player. And that I think is really important because Vicario, he didn't have the best of games. But his manager's gone out to kind of go to bat for him and say to him that, do you know what I mean? Don't boo him, he's going to need everyone on side. So that part I got. But you can't start telling fans what's out to feel and stuff, especially when you pay hard-earned money. And Spurs is expensive to go and watch. That's where I'm a little bit like, I think he's probably crossed the line.
Jay, I've got a question for you. Can I ask you a question, Jay? Is that all right?
Go on, mate. Well, Jay, which Jay?
It's two of us.
No.
O'Hara. I just want to get your view on what happened at Stamford Bridge because I know you were released by Arsenal.
Oh,
honestly. Come on in.
What? You were released by Arsenal.
Just get your facts right,
you were released by Arsenal for free.
Just get your facts right before you come on here.
I thought you told me he was
start
released.
Trying to pipe up.
Were you not released by?
No.
Who's he released by? I've got the team wrong.
Yeah, go on. Anything else from you, or are you just going to be a Wally?
Bentley, let these two squabble. Bentley, I want your thoughts on the game yesterday. You know, I thought Chelsea were excellent. Really pleased with the performance.
Why is he being so serious?
What do you make of it?
Why is Jason talking seriously?
Because you're talking rubbish.
Jay, have you plugged our podcast yet?
21
minutes
no one listens to it, mate.
Plugged it yet?
No one listens to it.
No, I did say sports bar. I said 21 minutes to go.
Why have we got them on? Can we hold on? Can we just ask why we've got yous on? Like, because it just feels like this is just pointless.
To get extra listeners.
No, it's just like I feel like we're just wasting time right now. Because you've come on and you're just being an idiot.
To be fair, you haven't offered us a lot.
You've offered nothing.
You haven't offered us a lot.
Like, you're out in America, you've blanked a week out there. Why are you even there? No one knows why you're there.
It's not a week, it's 5 days. It doesn't matter, does it? Until someone works it out, we're just going to stay here, boys, all right?
They're just drinking. They're just guzzling.
I mean...
Yeah.
Why am I getting the blame?
No, seriously, Jay, what did you say about the game yesterday?
What you thought of the game yesterday?
Why are you talking football?
Yeah.
Listen, I was obviously on the plane when it was on, so I came back and watched extended highlights.
First class.
Obviously, what I heard from is that, listen, as an Arsenal fan, when Chelsea go down to 10 men, I expect Arsenal to kind of get it over the line. But my father, obviously, you know, Jace, who's a big Chelsea fan, he said to me, he thinks if it had stayed 11v11, Chelsea would have won.
Yeah,
he thought Chelsea were playing really well.
We'll never know, but it felt like it.
What I have seen, the Reece James performance was outstanding. That's what I did see. And in the end, listen, a point further down the line might not be the worst result in the world, because Chelsea, I think, will cause a lot of teams a lot of problems.
No, I think it's fair.
Right, Goldstein, where are you going after? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, what you
got planned?
So, obviously later, I can't tell you, in case my wife's listening, but from here, we are going to, we're going to a speakeasy. O'Hara, Google it, find out what that is. We're going to a speakeasy. That's on the house, obviously. The boys are taking us there. And then we're going to fine wine, fine dine.
You want to go Nike now, though, right?
I'm going Nike. We're going to go do a bit of shopping. We'll get some shopping in. And then we're going to eat. Then we're going to a club. Then we're going to a bar.
Yeah. Is that what you messaged me, Goldstein? Is that what you messaged me? You go to Sapphires? Is that what you messaged me?
Well, Sapphires, Jason, as you well know, in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a few clubs here where you're well known. There's a few clubs here where you're well known.
Yeah. The membership card comes out. Deep in the wallet, that one sits. Mrs. G, don't see that one.
Steer. Well.
Yeah, look, he's gone. He's gone. We've caught him. He's under the gun.
He knows Sapphires well.
Benny, get away from him. He's dropping you right in it.
Can I just say, right? Firstly, it's really early in the evening here, so this is genuinely our first drink of the evening, so we're okay. But secondly, Sapphires is in Las Vegas, and there was a picture of me on the wall. It's a gentleman's club. I hold a world record in that. This is true. I did a TV show there years ago, and I hold a world record. I don't know if I can tell you this, but I'm going to tell you for the longest ever lap dance. Over 161 girls in 10 minutes. True story.
What is going on here?
That is a true story.
All right, gentlemen, have a good evening. Yeah, have a good evening. Right, see you in a bit.
Yeah.
Mrs. Bent's
you were
on the
released
line.
by Arsenal. I hold the world record.
Benty wants out. Look, Benty's gone. Goldstein is the only one left.
Where's Benty gone? What do you want to know, boys? What do you want to know? Here we go. What do you want to know, boys?
Where are we going? If we're out in New York tonight,
Goldstein, stop fencing with us. We know what we're after. Just give us the info. Come on.
There is no info.
Is it Sapphires?
Have a nice
what have you got
night.
planned for us?
Tired.
Is it Sapphires?
Listen, we've all worked very, very very hard today.
Yeah.
We're going
a bit of downtime. Need to relax.
We're going to come back here.
It's something to take your mind off work, Goldstein, didn't you?
Right. Come here. After they go to bed, me and Benty are going out. All right, and we're gonna enjoy ourselves tonight. Okay. We've got the company credit card.
Send me some
pics.
We've
got money behind us. No chance, mate. The pics you sent me last time you were out should be banned. Right. And I've still got them. They're locked away in a safe, Jay, in case I need them. All right.
So hold on. What are you doing out there, Goldstein? You're on every day. What time are you actually going live? Because obviously 4 o'clock over here. What's the time in New York?
So we're 5 hours behind you. So in all seriousness, so what we do in the morning, we meet down here about 8 in the morning. We have a little stroll through to Times Square, and then we do across to H&J about half 9 our time. So about 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, about 2:30, something like that. And then we go to today and tomorrow. We went to the equivalent of the news building over here. And then on Wednesday, we're in a pub doing our show called Legends. So if people are about, quite a few people genuinely have contacted us saying, if you're in New York, we'd love to come down and watch the show. Monday, today, and tomorrow, you can't do that. We're in the studio. But on Wednesday, we're in a bar called Legends. So if you're in New York, genuinely, we are on air at 11 a.m. New York time. So come down. It's a huge bar. It's a fantastic bar. There's loads of football shirts up of really, really famous people. We've seen Darren Bents. And Cundy and O'Hara, not to be seen anywhere. And then And then in the evening, it sort of changes. So tonight we're going out for a bit of food. Tomorrow night we are going to see James Corden's play. And then Wednesday night after the show, we jump straight on a train, and we go all the way to Washington, about 3 hours, first class obviously. And then we arrive in Washington Wednesday night, and we are going to see an NBA game. Is that Thursday? Thursday we're going to see the NBA game.
I mean,
don't feel sorry for me, but we're trying to cram a lot in.
you black. Fair play to you,
back
Goldstein. Fair play. I've never seen anything like it. Out of everyone at talkSPORT, you managed to get yourself in all the best places. I don't know how you do it, but you do.
Well, they say the cream always rises to the top. So what can I do? All right. We are. Listen, all jokes aside, we know we're very lucky doing what we do, all of us, you, me, etc. But yeah, this week's very exciting, and the fact that talkSPORT have got the draw for the World Cup live from Washington on Friday.
Goldstein, what time is that on Friday?
Also, sorry.
Go on.
Also, we've been contacted genuinely by someone that listens to talkSPORT, who's a senator. I promise you, this is not me mucking about. And he asked us if we want a private tour of the White House on Thursday. How mad's that?
That is mad.
So I'm going to take in a pot of Goldstein's golden paste and put it on the desk in the Oval Office. Give it to Donald.
You're lying. You're winding this up, mate.
See what happens.
Goldstein, what time's the draw?
I swear
Seriously, let's get back to football. What times is the draw live on your show? Live on Drive or not?
So our show has been moved your time to 7 p.m. And so the draw for the World Cup is happening in Drive. So between 1 and 4 on Friday, Adrian Durham, I think, will be talking you through it. 4 till 7. 4 till 7, sorry. 4 till 7 is the draw for the World Cup, UK time. And then we're on air straight after that, reacting to it. And we've got loads of big-name guests joining us as well. So I think it's going to be one of those weeks that really just goes really, really quick. But yeah, I mean, we're incredibly lucky. We're in New York.
I can't believe Bentley's just got off. Bentley's just dipped out as soon as he heard Sapphires.
Yeah.
Do you want to know why?
Do you want to
know why he's gone?
Go on.
I can tell you now.
Go on.
Because he's gone back to the bar. There's a few people at the bar that he was speaking to earlier. He's gone back to the bar.
Don't be getting him in trouble, you.
He's just... Right, don't do with me. He's the ex-footballer. Oh, do you know who I am? I used to play for Fulham. All right, calm down, Bentley.
Goldstein, enjoy yourself.
Cheers, bud.
All right, see you later.
God bless you, boys. I'll see you soon. See you tomorrow.
You can catch the amazing Drive show 4 till 7 every day out from New York. They are going to be going over to Washington as well, as you've heard. Adrian Durham will be doing a draw, and then Bentley and Goldstein are going to be live on air on Friday. It'll be interesting to see who England are going to play in the World Cup. If you want to get a load of nonsense from them too, make sure you tune in. We're going to move on. We're going to hear from Arnie Slot after he decided to drop Mo Salah this weekend. We're taking your calls as well. 03 717 22 3344. Yeah, it's myself, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy, bringing you the Sports Bar. We're joined by former Premier League referee Dermot Gallagher. He's coming up. We'll bring you back pages as soon as we get them as well. Thomas Frank's all over the back of them. But first, time to get the latest odds in association with talkSPORT Bet.
Bring it on with talkSPORT Bet. Download the app or visit talksportbet.com for all the latest odds and offers. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Yeah, speak to Ambassador Rhino.
Rhino.
Evening, lads. How you both doing? You well?
Yeah, we're good, mate. We're good.
Good.
Look, let's kick things off. Big games tomorrow. It's all happening again. Bournemouth Everton tomorrow.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
live on the talkSPORT app. Everton were terrible at the weekend.
Humbled, weren't they? They were absolutely humbled. But you're right, she's back, and it's good. All them international breaks we've been having, it's about time we deserve this, a few days away from each other. Both the teams, but though, I know you say about Everton's result, they're both coming off the back of 5-goal games that they were on the losing side to. Obviously, the Everton one was far more humbling, though. Bournemouth, a 3-2 loss to Sunderland. Here's one for you. In fact, Bournemouth, the first Prem side in history to go 2 goals up against Sunderland and then lose. So that's an unwanted record, a bit of a weird one as well. But going into this one, Bournemouth are the favourites. They're the favourites for this at 11-10 at home. You'd expect that to be the case. Everton, 13-5, and they've lost their last 4 against Bournemouth as well. That's worth saying, and that contributes to the odds. The draws 23-10, Jay. I've had a look at some of the boosts about what you can look at as well. Semenyo assist, I'm enjoying that. That's a nice booster at 19-4. Everton early payout is just shy of evens, if you fancy that Everton perspective as well. Another thing for Everton's perspective is at Ndiaye anytime. He's one of those bums off seats kind of players, and at 21-10, I'm enjoying that price. But Bournemouth and both teams to score for me is where I'm going to go, and that's at 100-30. I think that's a nice booster from talkSPORT Bet, I have to say.
And over to talkSPORT 2, get a live commentary of Fulham. They take on Manchester City. That is tomorrow night. A chance for Man City to claw back that lead at the top of the table, just to 2 points, because Arsenal obviously don't play till Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 5 points at the moment, but you're absolutely right. Points on the board every single day of the week, isn't it? And it was a fantastic result for them, really, when you think about the manner in which City did it. Just the 3 victories in the last 8 games for Fulham, but one of those is that 2-1 against Spurs. Sorry, Jay, but they go into this one with a bit of wins in their sails. And I say all this because Fulham are 4-1 at home. I don't know with City. I know they're still grinding out the results, but there's a bit of vulnerability there. Yeah. 4-1's not a bad price. City 13-20. The draw is 31-20 as well. So here we go. What can you look at? Well, City to win and both teams to score will be looked at by many. That's 23-10. They're obsessed with Doku. talkSPORT Bet when I've gone through these boosters. 1 shot on target, 13-10, and assist 16-5. So if you're in the Doku fan club, check them out. They're on the boosters tab. But I'm going to say, look at the 1-up early payout for Fulham. It's 13-10. If Fulham go 1-up at any point, talkSPORT Bet will pay out at 13-10. That's not bad if you want the Fulham perspective on your bet.
Okay. And then the big one tomorrow, Newcastle. Spurs. It's live and exclusive on talkSPORT. I don't give us many odds for this one, do you?
Well, look. I know, I get it. I understand why you're upset, and you have every right to be. But they're only separated by goal difference. These two, you have to remember that. And it's 12th and 13th in the table. Newcastle, of course, again, when you talk about winding the sails, it's their 4-1 winners on the weekend. But and Newcastle are favourites here at 7-10. Spurs are 18-5, and the draws on at 3-1. They've been terrible at home. Spurs, you've mentioned it. 10 Premier League home defeats in 2025. That is obviously not good enough. But 13 points from 18 on offer away from home. You have to. I know it's doom and gloom at the moment, but you have to factor that in. Don't get swept up in it all, because Spurs at 18-5 is not the worst price. I'm telling you. Now I've built this little bet builder. If you want the Newcastle bias, over 2.5 goals, because 6 wins at home for Newcastle. They've scored over 2 in all of those, at least 2 rather. So over 2.5 goals. Walter Mada to score any time, and a Newcastle win is 17-5. So there you go. Another Spurs perspective here that you might enjoy. Frank to be the next Premier League manager to be sacked is 4-1. So there you go. You can have that.
Is he top of the pile?
No, he's not top of the pile. However, it's a great question, because I cannot remember who it is. It's Daniel Farker at 2-5. Okay. So there is a bit of a gap there. But second in the betting.
Wow. That was a look at the latest odds.
Cheers, Rhino.
Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. Begambler.org.
Bring it on with talkSPORT Bet. Download the app or visit talksportbet.com for all the latest odds and offers. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Well, let's go to worried Chris. He's the Arsenal fan. All right, Chris?
All right, Chrissy boy.
How you doing, boys? You all right?
Yeah, all right, mate. How are you feeling after the weekend?
Well, I was disappointed before the game when I found out Saliba was out, and I was thinking, what's going on? That's both our centre-backs out. But anyway, it is what it is. I didn't think we started the game well at all. I didn't think we were at the races at all. No. And then, obviously, Caicedo with a horrific challenge. No need for it. And then I thought, all right, cool. We can go on to win this. And then we can see the sloppy goal from a corner. And then, yeah, all right, we got back into the game. But then after, we just didn't do enough to win the game, to be honest. Didn't do enough. But I did speak to my mate beforehand, and I said, look, I'll take the draw. It's Chelsea away. It's not like, we're playing Fulham at home and losing. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, Jay. But yeah, listen, Chelsea away, it's a good point. But I just thought we should have went for it a bit more, especially when they had 10 men.
Yeah.
I thought if Timber leaves the ball when the cross comes in, Gyökeres has got a free header. But
yeah.
At the end of the day, I think draw is definitely a fair result.
Yeah, it's a fair result. I thought Chelsea shaded it. I thought we were excellent. That midfield area. We said.
I thought you were lucky, Arsenal. That Caicedo got sent off. I thought you were lucky. I thought you were getting overrun. I thought Chelsea would have won the game.
But to be honest, though, Chelsea did play well, but they didn't really have a lot of clear-cut chances.
It was coming. It was coming.
Where you said, they should have scored that one or nothing like that, really.
It was coming. It was all over you. They were quicker than you. They were sharper than you.
They were.
That game was getting away from you. And Caicedo, in the most important minute of the game, really, where, in a big moment, he cost Chelsea 3 points, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing. That was a disgusting challenge. When I saw it on the replay, I thought, right, if he goes to the screen, he's gone. That's definite red.
Yeah, it's definite. I think disgusting's a bit harsh. He goes in to win the ball. He's low, catches him, 100% a red, 100%.
Yeah.
And they made the point. It was the same as Bentancur when he put on Declan Rice. Yeah. Really similar challenge. And Declan get away with it.
But I just think Wednesday now, no excuse. We're at home to Brentford. We have to get the 3 points there. No excuse.
Who do you fear most chasing you down if there is going to be a team, City or Chelsea?
Do you know what? That's a good question. Do you know what? If I'm honest, I'm going to say Chelsea because look at City. City were 2-0 up against Leeds, and they were lucky last kick of the game goal pretty much to beat Leeds at home. We pumped them 5-0. So I think Chelsea are a problem this year, and I did say that to you lot at the start of the season. I think Chelsea will be up there this season. They're going to be a problem this year. I really do believe that.
Yeah.
Over Christmas.
All right, Chrissy, thanks for your call.
Cheers, Chrissy.
Keep them coming in. We will touch on a few more if we can. We are joined, though, by former Premier League referee Dermot Gallagher. He's coming up next. You're listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara, Jason Cundy. Got back pages coming up. Thomas Frank is all over him. But first, it's time for this. Dermot O'Query.
Evening, Derm.
Evening, Derm.
Evening, Jace. Evening, Jamie.
Mate,
how you doing?
All good. All good.
Loads to go out with you, Derm. Obviously, the big talking points of the weekend is the Casado sending off. There's no real arguments over that one, is there?
I don't think so, Jamie. I think you make a tackle like that, you see the point of contact, you see the studs go in. He probably doesn't mean to hurt him, but it's just a bad tackle, isn't it? It's a very, very ill-judged tackle. When you make a tackle like that, if you plant your studs in somebody's above the ankle like that, you're going to get sent off.
Yeah, it was done with. It was quite ferocious as well. He's come on but he's a tough tackling midfielder. And unfortunately, he's going to pick up a lot of them. But when I first saw it, because he's actually quite low, I think it's a yellow. Then I see it again, and I'm like, oh no, it's not.
It's not yellow.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But anyway, look, he'll pay 3 games. He's off. A lot of people thinking Nkapia could have been sent off for the elbow incident with Trevor Chalobah. For me, it's not a red card. That's how you jump. Unfortunately, at times, and I got a lot of elbows in the face of the centre half. You get a lot of them, and sometimes you do it to the attacker. That is just one of those coming together that it's a yellow, move on. I
said that this morning, Jace. I said, he's leapt, he's used his arms for leverage. There's no doubt about that. He's caught him in the face.
Yeah.
Again, the picture's there for everybody to see. But in his defence, what I will say, he hasn't used it as a weapon. He hasn't drawn it back. He hasn't powered into him. He's just caught him. And I think the good thing about this incident, Jace, is that the referee didn't get seduced by the injury. You saw the cut on his cheek.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's so easy to be drawn into that and think, well,
elbows hurt. Elbows can be sharp. They can hurt,
But-
especially because what you sometimes get, you get one coming up and one, so it's almost like 2 forces. One with Chalobah's head and one with the elbow.
Yeah. They hurt a lot more, Jace, if somebody throws it in temper.
Yes, I'm sure, mate.
Okay. What about Lucas Paqueta? It's been a big talking point. I've seen it everywhere at the moment. He got sent off 2 bookings in quick succession. He was complaining, obviously, but he's took 2 yellows. He's come out and done a bit of a statement saying he hasn't got any protection and he feels a bit like he's getting targeted. What's your take on that situation?
What I would say is that's not the referee's fault, is it, Jamie? If you look at it, he didn't commit the foul. The referee gives a foul against Kudos, I think it is. He gives a foul. Paqueta rushes in, has a go at the referee. And then if you watch it, you see how tolerant we are as referees, because Paqueta won't let it go. He's dragged away firstly by Bowen, then by the goalkeeper, and he still won't let it go. And he goes on and on and on, and I'm watching it. I was watching it live, and I said to the guy next to me, I said, he's going to go for this in a minute because he's just completely lost it.
Yeah, but is there a way, though, Derm? I get, he's lost, but is there a way that the referee can have a bit about him and say, listen, you, calm yourself down and go away? Just throw another card at him. It just feels like school teacher stuff. Do you know? Like, oh, I'm going to send you off and make it. Like, can't there be like a bit of a...
Surely the yellow card is that. The yellow card is exactly what you said.
Yeah, but if he's...
Go away, you've got a yellow card.
But isn't there also a bit, Derm, where you go, listen, I booked you, now shut up. If you carry on, I'm not going to send you off, but come on. Do you have to give him 2 yellows?
But, Jamie, do you not think that's what happened? Because if you watch it, you saw Darren England. I think he was really, really patient. He stood there. He's trying to reason with him. His players are trying to reason with him. And there was no containing him in the end, was there? He just went on and on and on. He wouldn't let it go. And you saw Darren England stood there as much to say, well, how many chances is going to give you? And in the end, everybody has a tipping point. And I get it. He just said enough's enough and that's it. But I can't see anybody complaining about it, Jamie. I think even West Ham fans will say, he just didn't have to do that. And what would you expect?
No. He's obviously got underlying problems with the situation at the minute with yellow cards and then feeling like he ain't been
he's let himself down there, that's for sure. Crystal Palace, Mateta had a double kick of a penalty here, and of course we all know that's illegal. Now, there have been incidents in the past of this where the goal was obviously ruled out because you can't touch the ball twice until an opposing player does. But the law has changed, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's because of the Champions League, Jace. If you remember, I think it was Alcaraz, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Happened in the Champions League, and FIFA decided to change the rule that if it's accidental, which it was because he slipped, there's no doubt about that. You actually had to watch the replay because when first see it, I didn't realise he'd done it. He slipped. He's hit it twice. It's gone in the net, so therefore it's got to be retaken. The interesting thing is if it'd gone wide or the goalkeeper saved it, it wouldn't be retaken. It's indirect free kick against Mateta for playing the ball twice.
Yeah, I mean, he gets too close to the ball. I get the one, I think it was Alvarez, wasn't it? And he slipped, and I get that. If you slip, retake, you can touch it twice, I can almost understand, but...
Well, I don't. It seems a bit strange that you're allowed to take another penalty, yet you've mucked it up.
No, I agree. The Mateta one, I think, he's standing foot, he's too close to the ball. So his run-up's wrong.
I'm not sure about that.
It goes in, so...
Actually, I'm not sure.
Well, you think they should just be...
That's it. He mucked it up. It's a penalty. You're a professional footballer. He shouldn't be slipping.
He did slip.
That shouldn't happen. He should not have a double tap.
He shouldn't have.
He got lucky, Jamie, as you say. He got lucky because it went in the net. If it hadn't gone in the net, he was in trouble, wasn't he? Because it was going to be an indirect.
But Cundy seems to think that
that's tough.
Even if it goes,
it's tough. It's just the free.
Even if it goes in the net, it should be a foul. He's touched it twice.
He shouldn't get a second chance. That's how I see it.
Yeah, no, I kind of tend to agree with you on that one, to be fair. What about Phil Foden? He's appears to be in an offside position. Second goal versus Leeds. Talk us through that. We're seeing a lot of these at the moment, aren't we?
This really exposed how VAR is not the panacea, as I call it. The corner comes in and it's scored. There's an argument about is Donnarumma fouled. The goalkeeper fouled. Yeah. But what happened for the first corner is Foden plays it in. It gets headed back by Guardiola, and the assistant is out of position because Foden's played him out of position because he can't stand by the corner flag because he's going to take it. He looks across. He's looking across at Guardiola. Doesn't realise where Foden is. Foden comes in, takes a shot, gets turned for a corner. Well, if it had gone in the net, the VAR could have intervened then and said, well, Foden was in offside position. But because it didn't go in the net, they can't intervene. So it's cornered the other side. The corner comes across and Manchester City score.
Yeah, and that's just tough, isn't it? The way that it's worked out. It's
yeah.
And are they thinking of changing that? There's I know I've spoken to you, Derm, about second yellow cards that lead to a red. Yeah. I think that'd be a great introduction. Find out is it a second yellow? Because we've seen incidences where it's really harsh, and also that they might look at corners with VAR if they do lead to goals.
I think they've alluded to that today about using it in the World Cup. I think the pressure is, Jace, that the feeling is, could you have a World Cup played and that happened? It shouldn't have been a corner, if you like, and a goal is scored, and that's a winning goal in the World Cup. It's just too big for them. I think.
So do you know? Sorry, Derm, to cut across. Do you know when they intervene? Do they intervene before the corner is taken, or do they intervene after the corner's taken and then they look back at it?
I don't, because obviously it's all in the melting pot at the moment. But that's what people are talking to about that. But I do know that people at the highest level are fearful that we saw the Bournemouth one the other day, did we, with Nottingham Forest, and it should have been a goal kick with Tavernier.
Yes,
it ends up a corner and Bournemouth score. Yeah. And I think that's what they're fearful of. That if this happens in the biggest stage in the world, I mean, people still talk about the Frank Lampard goal in Bloemfontein.
Yes.
It's the biggest stage in the world. It's the worst place for it to happen.
Yeah.
The only good thing to say about that, it brought GDS in.
Yes, it did.
It brought that in. So good comes out of bad. but that's no consolation to England or Frank Lampard,
No.
you know, in Bloemfontein.
No, no, it isn't. No.
All right, Dom, I think you've done all right this week. You lot, you've been okay. It's not been the worst performance.
Thank you both. Thank you both.
Cheers,
You have a
Dom.
great week, both.
Cheers, bud.
All right, there's Dermot Gallagher, former Premier League referee, going to be going through all of tomorrow's back pages as well. Thomas Frank is on all of them. You're listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT with talkSPORT Bet. Download the new talkSPORT Bet app today. 18 plus. We go and dog.
Step up to the Oki and win on talkSPORT.
Yeah, you're listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara, Jason Cundy. We've got Kevin Hatchard coming up. But first, we're closing in on talkSPORT Darts Presenter Trophy 2025. Now in its third year, we're 8 of talkSPORT's biggest names go head-to-head ahead of the PDC World Darts Championship kickoff. This year, you and a mate could be there with us. You'll be the only members of the public allowed in on Wednesday the 10th of December in London. 2 seats, 2 insider passes, a true money-can't-buy experience for the ultimate talkSPORT fan. Me and Cundy are going up head-to-head in the first round. The very next day, you'll also be heading to the opening day at the PDC World Darts Championship. Plus, we'll sort 2 nights hotel stay, a massive $2,500 in cash. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text costs £2 plus your standard network rate, or call 0343 423 9761. Lines close 4 p.m. next Thursday. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. So for your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 now. This is a network promotion. Full T&Cs at talksport.com. Now it's time for this.
JC.
Back pages. Jack Cunningham.
You all right?
Evening, lads. How you doing?
All right, matey.
All right, matey. How are you?
The Sports Bar Darts Divider. Ready for that?
Yeah, can't wait. Me and Cundy going at it in the first round.
Oh, I can't wait. It's
going to be
class.
garbage. Right, back pages. I've got to go there. Thomas Frank, he's all over him. Back page of the Sun, doubting Thomas. Spurs stars frustrated with tactical confusion. Frank saying, I'm confident of backing of owners.
No, it's not great, is it? I mean,
No.
3 defeats in a week for Tottenham, booed off at the weekend against Fulham. I mean, Thomas Frank then criticised the fans. I wasn't sure that was the right move at all, to be honest. It's not like he's been there long and got a lot of credit in the bank really yet to be doing something like that. So, yeah, it's just a real struggle. I don't really know what's happened. You know, you think about it was a decent start. You know, beat Manchester City, beat Burnley, flying quite high in the league. I guess the performances weren't amazing, but you were still winning and still getting points. And then sort of just in the last, it's 4 Premier League games without a win, I think it is. Newcastle tomorrow away, which obviously Tottenham do really well at, don't they? Usually, especially lately.
Rubbish, I know.
But look, I mean,
the one that worries me is the fact that, you know, how true this is, we don't know. But the fact that Spurs stars, I mean, none of them are stars right now. Let's get that right. But saying that they're frustrated with his tactical tinkering, and that's where you start going, right, is he starting to lose a bit of the dressing room already? I mean, it's hard at the moment, but, you know, you think over the last 3 games, we played 5 at the back against Arsenal.
Yeah.
Then we played a 4-4-2 diamond against PSG, and then he played 4-2-3-1 against Fulham. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's 3 different formations in a week.
I suppose, but this is what Frank did at Brentford. You know,
I don't know if he'd done it
changed
that
the
much,
formation
though.
all the time.
I don't know if he did. I don't know if he changed it that much.
He did change it a lot. They did change between a back 3 and a back 4 quite often, and I feel like, to be honest, I think that's one of the reasons Tottenham got him, because he's tactically flexible. He changes. He doesn't have a set necessary style or a set formation. He adapts sort of game by game. He adapts to his players he has as well. I feel like that is one of his big strengths, to be honest, Thomas Frank. The fact he is so adaptable.
Was in the office earlier.
It's not like Ange Postecoglou, is it? Who just is committed to one thing, no matter what. Right, we're going to do this. We're going to do this.
Something in between.
No matter what.
Well, Hugh Wozencroft in the office was saying to me and Jay that he feels that Thomas Frank hasn't got his message across to the players yet, quite, because he keeps changing things. Which I suppose in some ways you can go, okay, fine, but then the results have got to, at some stage, back that up to make sure that he is getting those decisions right, because it'll always fall on the manager. For as long as football will be about and has been about, it'll always fall back on the manager because he chooses the players, the personnel, and the formation and the tactics. So, if you get them, you know, if you're getting not just one of those parts right, but sometimes getting 2 or 3, things ain't going to end well.
No, they're not, are they? And look, I think Spurs fans, it already feels like quite a lot of them are already starting to get a little bit fed up of Frank and what's going on. And I think a lot of it comes down to, I mean, the home form. I think someone worked out that Spurs have got one of the most expensive season tickets, and in 2025 they've seen 3 wins, and it works out about £766 a win.
Bargain.
Which is absolutely ridiculous, isn't it, when you actually think about it? I mean, it's insane. It's just an easy place to play football. I don't know why. I feel like it has been since
it shouldn't be.
I know, but I think it has been since Spurs moved there.
Yeah, but they ain't moved. They just built a stadium on top of the old one. They ain't moved.
Yeah.
I've been there, Jack. I've been there. It still feels like White Hart Lane. It still feels like you go through the back, you know, you go through the Tesco's to get there to the ground. I still park in the same car park that I parked in when I played. Like, it's still got the same pubs. All right, a few have gone, but, you know, you've got the Sainsbury's, people walking through.
King.
You've got Chick King.
Chick King's there.
You know,
Don't leave Chick King out.
Don't forget the Chick King.
You know, but it is. You ain't. It's not like West Ham have completely uprooted and gone to an Olympic stadium.
Yeah.
Like, we have got a stadium which has still got the heart of Tottenham, and it's, you know, and it's an incredible stadium. But it ain't like, I don't go there and feel like it's massively different to what White Hart Lane was. All right, it's a bigger, better stadium, of course, but the pitch is still close. You know, there's still the atmosphere there. You've still got that feeling of being around Tottenham. So, you know, everyone's saying, oh, you know, we've moved stadium. Well, you know, I feel like we need to offer a bit more. There's something not. You can't blame the stadium. The stadium's unbelievable.
Look, you've been there for a long time now as well.
Yeah, and it ain't been great. It ain't been great since we've been there. And, you know, you've got to try and make it a fortress. You've got to put in performances to make it a fortress.
Yeah, I think it's a bit difficult. I think the atmosphere isn't as good as it was at White Hart Lane. I certainly feel like I'm trying to think of. I think when Tottenham beat Arsenal 3-0 under Conte, I thought the atmosphere was incredible.
But people
that night.
talk about atmosphere, right? And that's a load of rubbish, right? People say, "Oh, the atmosphere is not the same." Well, that's because we're crap. Do you know what I mean? You can't expect people to be flying flags and all that. I remember last season when we was in the Europa League semi-finals and all that.
That was good.
Big games, unbelievable.
Yeah, that was
the
good.
The crowd was because it's a big game, big moment, and the players turned up. So people talk about atmosphere. Arsenal have got a really good atmosphere at the moment. Well, it's because they're winning and they got a good team.
It does go hand in hand. It definitely does.
Back page of the Sun. Pep's Phil skip hope. I don't know why they put such a tongue twister. Basically, he's saying to Phil Foden, stay at City and become a legend.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's saying. So I think Foden, well, we all know last season he had massive struggles. Basically a year where he did nothing. He was nowhere near the levels that we know he can be. I feel like this season's starting to show signs that he's getting back to the levels that we all know Phil Foden can play at. Yeah. It's 2 goals at the weekend, massive goals in Manchester City if they're going to have any chance of winning the title. I don't really necessarily think that they are, but still kept them within touching distance. And 2 goals, last minute winner as well. He's got 3 goals in the Premier League now this season, which isn't amazing, but 6 goals overall this season in all comps is pretty good. And he seems like he's back in Guardiola's favoured starting 11. He's basically playing every game now at the moment when Guardiola wants to put his strongest team out. So he's basically saying to Foden, look, you stay here forever, become the captain, become probably, Manchester City's greatest player, I guess, if he stays there forever. I mean, how many appearances would he rack up then? He's on 336 now, and he's 25. So, if he stays injury-free, keeps going, he could be, I don't even know how many appearances he could actually end up on, to be fair. It'd be a ridiculous number. But Foden does feel like we're starting to see him getting back to those levels that we know we can hit, which is good for England and good for Manchester City.
Yeah, absolutely. VAR's to ruin corners at World Cup. That page of the Times.
Yeah, we just heard Dermot talking about it, actually. It was interesting, and it looks like they are introducing it. The IFAB are going to basically give a trial run for the rules to be changed at the World Cup for VAR to intervene in corners. So I guess that Leeds Manchester City goal at the weekend, that would have been disallowed, would have been changed, what have you. What I will say, though, from a spectator's point of view, I feel like VAR takes long enough already. If we're checking every corner, like, there's quite a few corners in games. You're just adding in another layer of referee
it's the ones that make the difference, right? A corner at the moment, as we're seeing, set pieces are
they're huge.
Massively important, right?
If
there's a contentious decision at the World Cup semi-final, England playing Brazil.
Most corners are obvious.
Yeah,
most corners won't be checked.
Right? Most of them are obvious.
Yeah.
But if there is one, and it goes out, and then that player, Brazil score, knocks us out of the World Cup, it ain't a corner. I tend to go, you know what?
For a one-off right there.
For a one-off, if they can make it happen and do it quickly, then I'm fine with it.
No, it is the World Cup, and I think, as you say, I think Dermot was actually saying when he was saying that they're scared about something massive happening from a corner necessarily, and it being wrong.
We've seen it already this season. Man United got one against Nottingham Forest, right? And it's like they're big calls. They make a big difference, and that World Cup in a tournament like that, I think. I'm not against it.
No. I think it's fine. I get why they're doing it. And as you say, we'll have to see how many corners they check and stuff, etc. But yeah.
All right. Just lastly, PFA back Red Rage pack.
Yeah. So for Qatar, we all saw what happened on the weekend. 2 yellow cards in a minute for dissent. It's pretty unheard of. But Qatar then come out and put a weird statement on Twitter, sort of blaming everyone for having no support and stuff. So the PFA are going to step in and offer some psychological support, and West Ham are also going to offer him some psychological support as well, because they feel like since his return from spot fixing or whatever, he's maybe not quite over it. And because in the end, that case dragged on for so long, it was hanging over him for ages. He was being accused of something that in the end it's been proven that he didn't do. I think that they're worried about his mental state, and Sunday felt like one of those things where he got the yellow card and then he just lost it. And for whatever reason the West Ham players couldn't drag him away or whatever. The referee had no choice but to send him off. You can't have a player screaming it in your face for about a minute.
No.
It was essentially nothing. It was a nothing free kick.
Well, the PFA need to up their game and get on track with these players, don't they? Do you know? If they see a situation where Pekatara's been suspended and he's out of the game, contact him.
Should have done it already. Shouldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, like, get hold of him and contact him. He pays a fee to the PFA. Everyone does.
Yeah.
And you know, you got to look out for these players. You got to look at the situation and be like, right, he's in bother. We need to check on him. We need to make sure he's all right. And if he wants to help, take it. If he don't, he don't. But you got to reach out. If you haven't reached out, it's scandalous.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you think he should have been